So I met with Natalie. She's a 28-year-old mother of three, and she's staying right now at the Stay Plus Inn here in Florida. Let's hear what she has to say about her current struggle. Why don't you tell me your name?
My name is Natalie. I'm 28 years old.
Okay.
I have 3 kids. I'm currently at the Stay Plus Inn in Haines City. It's a low-income based facility that help people who don't necessarily have a place to go, and they help us with a place.
You mentioned you have 3 children?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your situation prior to you coming here and how long you've been here so far?
Prior to coming here, I was living with their Nana, so she's called. It's my husband's mother, and she lives in Lakeland. She's not necessarily in a good situation either. And it turns out, I guess, she got tired of me living there, so she basically kicked me and my 3 children out. And I kept looking for a place to live. I applied for the Section 8 and all of the places that are supposed to help you find a place to live, but I was knocking on doors that were closed until I found this place. And Sean, which is the manager here, helped me and said, you know, I can do it based off of what you make, and I currently have a job. And so he offered to put me in a place, and that's what brought me here. Because right now, the reason I'm in this situation is because their father has been going through a rough time with getting off track, and he's currently in a rehab facility in Orlando. So while he's going through that, I kind of have to rough it out until then. He's supposed to be out in January, so hopefully everything will go good from there.
Do you feel when he gets out you're going to get the support that you and your children need in regards to housing?
Hopefully, because there they make you get a job and get a place and all that, where he's currently at. So he'll have all that taken care of. But for right now, I kind of have to do everything myself.
How old are your children?
9, 7, and 6.
What kind of support would help you in this type of situation? I mean, you're here with 3 children, and you're alone by yourself. It must be difficult. You said that you reached out to some agencies, and you're here now and you're getting help, but it looks like you could use more help. What would be most helpful in your situation right now?
Most helpful would be a place that would help, like maybe help single moms get on their feet, like maybe first month's rent or something, or to help with rental assistance. They have places like that, but they don't have any funds right now. Like they're all out, like Section 8 and all those different counties that they have that in, the funds are low. So anything like that to help would help. Like maybe housing a family until they could, you know, start making the payments. Because it's hard to save money when you're in a place, when you have a car payment to make, insurance, and making the payments here to live here, paying for food. I mean, you have to pay for all that, so it's hard to save up like a deposit for a place.
Now you mentioned you work,
Yes,
right?
I do.
Okay, so it's not like you're just sitting around and, you know, you're not doing anything. You're an active person that's actively seeking help, and you're working, and for some reason you just can't make ends meet.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the stereotype at times that are portrayed against, homelessness and homeless families that just really need help? How do you feel about that?
I believe sometimes that stereotype is wrong, because I believe there's a story behind each of those situations, and I don't think anyone wants to be that way. I think that hard things happen in those situations, and they just don't have that leg to get back up. They don't have that extra hand, that extra foot to help them up, and so they stay down and usually they don't get the help they need and they end up falling through the cracks is what happens. I don't think that stereotype of, people want to be homeless or they don't want to help themselves. I don't believe that's necessarily all the time true.
You think that there's other people similar to you right now going through it?
Yes.
Have you met several yourself at all?
Yeah, I've met some of the people that are here and they kind of have the same situation where they're not able to save that money to be able to move into a place, and they don't have any help and they don't make enough money to get themselves out of this situation.
Well, you sure seem like you're a fighter, and you're going as hard as you can. You have your children here with you, and it doesn't seem like you're giving up anytime soon. I want to thank you for your time, and also I want you to just tell people what it is that you would like.
I guess in a way of where I never saw myself being in this situation, but things happen, and when you try to keep, I've been married for 10 years, and when you try to keep your relationship together, sometimes you make sacrifices, and I tried to make it work for a long time, and I guess this is kind of the last go round for me, because I have family that would help me in a different state and everything, but I choose to stay here because of their father, and I guess I'm just trying to keep working and everything. And from other people, it'd be nice to, I guess to not be judged and to understand that not everybody gets things handed to them. Some people have to work for what they have, and sometimes maybe that's just for the next meal, or maybe that's just for a Christmas present. But some people, have to actually work for what they have, and they don't get stuff handed to them, and they don't grow up in a family where they don't know what it's like not to know where the next meal is coming from, or it just to have some understanding from other people and not to be looked down upon. Sometimes just a smile to someone, or to say, I hope you have a good day, or keep doing what you're doing a good job, is enough. Even if it's not money, or even if it's not giving them anything, just saying, hang in there, or I know where you're coming from, or just a nice word. Sometimes that helps too.
Thank you for your story. I appreciate your time, and you're doing a great job. Keep it up. You're doing really, really great. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now that you've met Natalie and heard her story, I had the pleasure of meeting with her 3 children as well. Please help and donate. Please make a pledge to this campaign. Now let's meet Mr. Elliot Webb. He is a 30-year-old veteran that served in the United States Army. Let's hear a little bit about what he has to say about his current situation. How long have you been out of the service?
I've been out of service ever since 2012. I've been going to school online. Right now I'm with Capella University online, and I've been doing a work study with the VA, and that's pretty much been keeping me afloat, providing income for me and stuff like that.
How was your time in the service?
My time in the service was enjoyable. It was fun. I got to travel a lot. I met a lot of people, networked with a lot of people, had a lot of open door opportunities available to me. So serving in the military kind of made a good career choice for me, and I've been successful upon leaving the military as well.
Okay, that sounds great. That's very positive. Were there any negative effects you found that you've taken away since your return?
Well, since my return dealing with combat, I really now I was better before I actually went in service, because I was like this person that everybody got along with. I was more friendly. I was more cool, calm, and collective. Now I'm pretty much like on edge. I don't sleep much. Suffering with PTSD, and I'm still trying to fight the VA about my claim with dealing with PTSD. And I also have had my times where I had to deal with homelessness as a veteran as well.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, dealing with homelessness, I was housed after coming from the military, and then I moved to Florida from Alabama because I was taking care of my great-grandmother. She passed away, so I came to Florida to get into school because it's hometown for me. I love home, so I came back home to Florida to like progress and be successful in Florida, to show like everybody in Florida that, hey, I can do it. I can become successful. I can graduate school, which I did. I got my associates for medical billing and coding, and just started progressing on. So that was my main reason for coming back home here to Florida. Since that time, I still had to deal with certain issues. Like I was sleeping out my car at first when I first got here, but I was still going to school, doing everything that I needed to do. Until I got in contact with another veteran, a Vietnam veteran, and he seen my potential, and he was just trying to push me towards that way of success from the VOR program. Veterans Organization of Resources and Recovery over in Eustis, Florida.
Do you feel that you've gotten much help from the military since your discharge, your situation now?
Some help, but not as much as needed. Because I think the VA has their own issues going on right now and dealing with different things, but I think it could be a lot better in some sense. As far as, like me, I was denied simply because a doctor didn't say, okay, you're clinically diagnosed, but I'm receiving medication, I'm talking to the psychiatrist, psychologist, I'm being treated for it, but yet and still I'm not clinically diagnosed. And so that creates a problem for me when it comes to dealing with the military upon leaving the military.
How does that make you feel being an ex-veteran?
It makes me feel kind of terrible in a way, because it's like, okay, you serve your country, get back home, and you need help, you're seeking help for certain things that you've experienced, and you're still left out in the blue. It's like nobody's listening to your voice or anything that you're doing.
Are you doing this alone?
I'm fighting the VA pretty much alone. I have a sponsor that's pushing the issue for me as far as trying to get me my claim and everything, but I'm still battling them pretty much single-handedly.
And you are you're a young man.
Yeah.
And do you have a family?
I have a family. I have a mom. She lives in Alabama. My father passed away. I have like cousins, uncles, nieces, and stuff like that. And I have a girlfriend, pretty much, and 3 stepkids. So that's pretty much my everyday life.
So by you telling your story here today, you feel that there are similar vets out there possibly going through the same thing?
Plenty. There's plenty of vets going through the same thing and worse. Just like the other day, like I serve vets every day. I go out, I go out and I collect donations for vets, for homeless vets as well, so they can get into housing and combat this homelessness thing that's going on. Because me myself, I'm suffering from it. I feel like every vet has their own situation, their own story, but the way things are going now, I see a lot of young vets, and there's plenty about to come back. And something needs to happen, because I wouldn't want them to have to deal with the same situation that I'm dealing with right now.
Well, you're doing a great job, and your story will help others. What is your next step from here?
My next step is continuing my venture of wanting to be able to run my own business. I've already been to EBV, which is an entrepreneur boot camp at LSU, for opening my own veteran-owned business. My plans are to open a Iraqi museum for veterans like myself who served in Iraqi freedom, and also making an airsoft arena. And the airsoft arena is pretty much will be for military and law enforcement to utilize, because right now there's a bunch of casualties and training incidents, and with the airsoft guns and the airsoft arena, that could bring that number down. So that's what I plan to do. And also for entertainment purposes too, just like the civilian population, they could come, they can enjoy the venue and be like, hey, this guy did something, he's looking out for vets, and my business will be a veteran-owned business, so I will support other vets as well.
Excellent, very good. Well, just by you being here today and giving us your story is another step ahead in the right direction. So thanks again, Elliot, for that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You heard this gentleman's story. It's all too common. He fought for us. Why not fight for him? Please help me with this campaign and donate to Mr. Elliot Webb, as well as other vets right now that are going through the same thing. I got a chance to meet with Sean Canoni. He is the director of the Stay Plus in Florida. And after working a shift of 37 hours, he agreed to meet with me. Let's hear what he has to say. So I'm here today with the man, Sean Canoni, and he's going to tell us a little bit about why he does what he does, and a little background as to this hotel here that he runs.
You know, I think a lot of people ask me, why do I do this? And I always kind of give the same answer, how could I not? I mean, it's a simple task to provide a place for people to go to. That's like the simplest thing, is putting a roof over someone's head. The hardest task is dealing with society, the cities, the government, and the stigma attached to the word NIMBY, not my backyard. That is just so gigantic these days. If I had my way, if somebody said, here's 200 acres of land, I would solve homelessness for the entire country. It's not a difficult task. Shelters used to exist, and they still exist, but we have been criticized for almost 20 years on the way we conducted our business. We didn't look to get people to self-sufficiency, because a lot of people cannot become self-sufficient. Checks, Social Security checks are small, SSI checks are small, disability checks are small. People can't get a job and keep a roof over their head. It's hard. And you have people that fail at that sometimes. And like the FAA says, I can't be a pilot because I have sleep apnea. I accept it, I understand it. Some people just have a problem keeping a roof over their head. So we developed what we call a model called Housing First. Now, Housing First is what HUD calls it. This is the new thing that HUD's doing. It's to put a homeless person in a home right off the street, and society pays for it, and they're not homeless anymore. We've been doing that for long-term housing, but we do it in a different type of facility. And it was never called Housing First, it was just called Permanent Affordable Housing. And we made a facility out of it, so mom and dad were always here to help them. The way the government does it's not going to work. It's going to fail. It's already starting to fail in some instances. And we believe that everybody should have a place to live, whether they can pay or not. So some people pay here, some people don't pay here. If they don't have any income, it's free. If they can work, they work a little bit. If they can't work, if they're disabled, they stay for free. And we call it America's first homeless resort. There's a swimming pool. It's always, I got the best seat in the house. I keep my drapes open a lot of the time, and I can see the kids swimming in the pool. And today we had 12 kids swimming in the pool. And you really don't get that at a homeless shelter.
I saw the kids playing out there, and it was really nice to see. It was nice to see a family together, a mother with her 3 children, all together and enjoying a clean, nice space for them to just be kids.
Now, the Polk County government will say this place is disgustingly ugly. They have a problem with kids staying. It's like kids stay in the inner community. That's what your Housing First model is. So what's the problem? You're going to take a homeless person, put them in the middle of the community around kids and families. Right here, we have 18 staff members. So if you have a problem with something happening, there's 18 staff members that can see what's going on. And, it's, when the government doesn't do it,
Yeah.
or you go to an area like up here, they think we're going to steal their funding, their HUD funding. And I'm like, I'm not going to take your money. We don't want your money. I don't want government money. I'll do it myself. We've done it ourselves for 20 years. We'll continue to do it ourselves. That way I can respond fast. I don't need their permission. When swine flu hit America, we were able to do vaccines in 2 weeks. We didn't have to do a grant to do it. We wouldn't be given a Florida shots provider, and we started to go vaccinate people on the street. And with our ambulances. And that's the advantage, is not getting funding. But ACA, the Agency for Healthcare Administration, sucks up here. They have been a tainted organization. They came in and said we couldn't take people's blood pressure. Something you could do at home. They told us we couldn't do it.
Why did they say that?
Because they said it was a health service. I'm like, it's not a health service. I was taking a heavy-set guy walking, and I took him swimming. And I said if I did that again, I would go to jail.
It sounds like it makes it pretty difficult for you to do what you love doing best, which is helping people.
Yeah, I should be able to take somebody for a walk. You don't need a medical license for that.
Why do you think that they're coming down on you so
They just
hard?
don't want us here. They're corrupt government. This whole system up here is corrupt.
You've been doing this for some time. I'm sure you've seen many things. You mentioned some of your
It's not the
efforts.
first time they threatened to put me in jail for doing services. It's been years that time. For 20 years they want to put me in jail for doing this. They haven't done it yet. So, I don't know what the problem is.
What do you see in store soon and upcoming in your efforts?
This has been challenging. It's so challenging that it really couldn't do my work. Every day it was like an alphabet soup. Every day there'd be another governmental agency coming here with initials doing some type of audit. And it prevented us from doing our job. And it became really, really risky for the clients. When they told us we couldn't let a client lock up their narcotics in the safety deposit box that they had access to, and we would oversee to make sure they didn't do it, 2 people overdosed. I have it on tape right here in my video. We had to do CPR on them. And they actually held up ambulances for 53 minutes to piss me off.
They would help
They had an ambulance sitting out front with its lights on for 53 minutes. It didn't come to an overdose to piss me off. To say, hey, we don't want you here this bad. This is how it's going to take us to respond now.
Well,
We have it on tape.
they had to
That's
check
life
on
risking.
They had to check on your particular office. And
Yeah.
the name was from this office.
If I called an ambulance for this office, they were delaying it.
And they were doing this on purpose.
Yeah. Homeless people were considered dangerous.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it was called. They said it was scene safety. Now I understand that. If a paramedic goes out on the call, I want them to go home. I want them to go home to their kids and family. I don't want them to get hurt. And I can understand scene safety, but to purposely do it because they're poor or homeless.
What's the difference between them coming out to a call, maybe in a suburb area, on the same type of call than here?
Well, there is something called scene safety, and that's officer safety and paramedic safety for their own. Again, for them to get home at night, and I agree with that. They got kids. I want them home. I don't want their family. They're ready to be shot.
Do you find any safety hazards out here?
No. In fact, if a paramedic got attacked here, we jump in to protect the paramedic. If one of our clients did something wrong to a public safety worker, we're going to protect the paramedic. I mean, we know what's right and wrong.
Seems
We're
like
not
the
dumb.
grounds are very well secured. It didn't seem like any hostile anything when we came out
According to the
here.
government, it's horrible.
I didn't see anything like that. As a matter of fact, I saw a very secure, clean, comfortable area for family and single individuals, for a place to, go when it seems like no one else wants them.
It's sickening what this government did up here. In fact, we knew we had a lot. We take sick people, and we knew there'd be a lot of ambulance calls. So as soon as we moved in, we said we want to use a private ambulance company. We're going to pay for it. This way, your EMS unit's not here for a small call because our people sometimes abuse EMS. And I said, we'll take care of it. We'll provide a private ambulance service. We'll pay for it. This way, your EMS unit can go faster to calls that are more important. No, you can't do that. I said, you're going to have a lot of ambulance calls then, and you're going to get mad at me. Because people are going to be calling, oh, we don't care, that's what we get paid to do, and blah, blah, blah. And they're upset about it. Now they have our home health agency looking in at us and spying on us. Now the clients, maybe some of them are not wanting to do home health. So now their health's going to be threatened because they feel the nurses coming in are going to report things to ACA on their bad habits. So now some of the clients don't want to use the nurses. Because ACA actually asked the nursing agency to report anything suspicious. Directly in violation of HIPAA.
So in a world that seems like is so against you and your efforts, how do you continue? Where do you get the support from? Who are your supporters?
I think I've always believed God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. I'm a firm believer in that. And so far, we've been able to handle it.
You said that you've been working 37 hours when I just came to see you, and you know, and that's a lot for one person. And I understand that you have a strong belief system, and that's good to have. But if you can reach out to viewers or to anyone that might have a similar heart like yours and really cares about humanity and really wants to make a difference.
There are thousands of people that want to get involved, help out, and start charities and agencies. And I say just do it. Start off small, that's what we did. We never intended to be this big at all. And it just happened. So if you want to start an agency, you just go shadow somebody, ask to volunteer, and you learn. You learn all the different things you got to do with compliance. You know, a very important agency actually started from our agency. I mean, he's dewormed all the children of Haiti, he's dewormed kids in third world countries. He was a CNN hero, all because he came in to do an internship with me, and for 10 years he slept on the floor of the shelter with me in my office, and he's doing a lot of good now. So go in and ask people to help out and start your own agency. People will help you, believe it or not. People, you know, I put up my own money to start this, but people give us money now, and we'll continue to take their money, and I'll continue to put money in when we need to, you know. An institution should always stay in business. It shouldn't go out of business.
What can viewers do to help you, in particular, the things that you might need on a regular basis?
Well, I mean, we're always looking for monthly partners, because when you have monthly partners, you can set your budget easier. You know, so we're always looking for people to send in $10, $20 a month and make a commitment, and then we know where our budget stands. That's always the best route. And it works. People do want to make monthly contributions. You know, I do. I have my favorite charities too. And I make my monthly contributions to them, like St. Jude's and stuff like that. So.
Tell us where they can send their support and how they can reach out.
They go to our webpage, www.homelessvoice.org. That's one word, homelessvoice.org.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming by.
I appreciate it, and the work that you do and your volunteers, your helpers. We're looking to do as much as we can also in the community, and it starts, like you said, with people, you know, like us and you, and reaching out to as many people as possible, because again, it's a human thing, it's a humanity thing, and we're all responsible, you know, for everyone else, you know.
Yeah, it's if people just helped out, it would be a better place.
Yeah, it sure will, and
I like playing it forward. I love that term. You know, we always try to teach the kids here, you know, how to do good. It's not my grandchildren. I got my grandchildren in this place, so it's a good place. You know, our vice president came here. He was 17, and he's our vice president, and he has 6 beautiful kids, and they're my grandkids. So can't beat that.
wow, that's lovely. I'm really just happy to have gotten the opportunity to come here and get your story. This is heartfelt for me, because you are truly an inspiration, and I would love to be able to mimic and follow your lead, and hopefully many more people will have the conviction in their heart to help out as much as they can as well.
You can start a program, you can start something.
Wow, that was a really heartfelt interview. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to have met with Sean. It tells me that there are really good people out there. People that will help people whether they're a stranger or not. Also meeting with Natalie and Mr. Webb, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything that it is that I have. So I want to give back, and I'm asking you, the viewer, to do the same thing. I'm asking you to donate to this campaign and many, many more that I will be bringing to you. So please find it in your heart to donate what you can. This documentary was made possible by Miami Production Studios. Give back, that's our motto. Special thanks to my partner, cameraman, and editor, Glenn Lambert. Thank you. We are here in Miami and we're going hard. Again, I'm your host, Elena. I hope to see you soon.